So again, this time of year, it's really hard to follow who's moving and who's getting sent down. So I'll again go through the list of guys who got sent down today and yesterday and look for names that, might be a surprise. Arizona sends down Michael. Did you know I was traded for Philip Forsberg-Latta? The Rangers sent down Cole Schneider, Daniel Catanacci. Scott Kosmachuk is released. Dallas sends down Mark McNeil. Nothing else major. The Predators send down Anders Lindback, which we knew he wasn't going to start with the big team. Jack Doherty, Trevor Smith, Pierre Cedric Labrie. Tampa sends down Daniel Walcott, time again, Matt Pekka. Brett Howden goes back to the WHL. Adam Ernie getting sent down kind of surprises me. Is that kid done? And I don't ask that to be a smartass. I ask it because Ernie's a guy that I've had my eye on and expected to make the NHL, and he's just hasn't done it. San Jose released a bunch of guys that I haven't heard of any of the guys that they released, to be honest. Anaheim didn't send anybody major down yet. Kevin Roy goes down to San Diego. Washington got rid of a bunch of guys. Chris Bork's the name that stands out there, of course. His NHL days are probably done. Lucas Johansson goes down to Hershey, so he'll start his year in the American Hockey League. Nikita Sherbak getting sent down by Montreal kind of surprises me. So here they are, a team that needs offense, and Montreal does definitely need offense. And Sherbak getting sent down doesn't necessarily bode well, although, and I've said this before, if you don't have a top 6 roster spot for guys who need a top 6 roster spot, send them to the American League if you don't need waivers. And then the first time you have an injury in your top 6, you can bring that guy up. So Sherbak might be that guy. Boston, they released Chris Porter. They released Chris Breen. Those are the two names that stand out. Taylor Doherty got released as well. Zach Senyshyn gets sent down. Anton Bleed gets sent down. I'm surprised by Bleed, not surprised by Senyshyn. A lot of Bruins fans during the offseason have said, well, Senyshyn's going to make it. He's going to score goals, and he's a pure goal scorer. And it's like, he hasn't played yet. He's been playing in the Canadian League. He played well. He's a good player, but I think DeBrusk is ahead of him in terms of development, and DeBrusk is still on the team, whereas he's been sent down. So, and it's not a matter of me saying, oh, I'm right, you're wrong. Senyshyn as a sniper needs to play top 6, and maybe Boston doesn't have an opening in top 6, so they send him down early. Zane McIntyre gets sent down, so he loses out on a roster spot. Malcolm Subban's still up. So they're trying to decide between Subban and Hudobin, and spoiler alert, I think Subban's going to end up on waivers. That may be why he's still up, though. Boston may be keeping him. They may be looking at the possibility of trading one or the other. San Jose, Antoine Bibeau gets sent down. Jacob Middleton sent down. Noah Rod gets assigned back to Switzerland. Of course, now we're down into the ones that I did yesterday. So that's your update on who's who on the rosters and in terms of who's got sent down. There's talk with Toronto that Aaltonen could be winning the race for number 4 center, and he could be in ahead of Dominic Moore and Eric Fehr. Of course, Fehr can play the wing, and Moore can play the wing as well. So Aaltonen and Rosen, it looks like Rosen will probably end up being on the opening night roster as well. That's why they signed him. When they signed Borgman and Rosen, the idea was that they were improving their defensive depth. There's still some talk about Toronto adding a defenseman, and there's talk about maybe JVR is the piece they're going to use. I still have a feeling JVR is going to stay in Toronto. 30 goal scorers are a rarity, and there's a lot of kids in Toronto, and the odds of having one or the other, between Marner or Matthews, having one or the other have kind of a poor sophomore season, it's there. And you're going to need veterans like JVR and Bozak and Kadri to help absorb whatever losses suffered in terms of production. And I like JVR. I'm aware that he's the piece that would bring back somebody on the blue line, but I don't see the quality of blue liners that are available being worth giving up a 30 goal scorer. That's the problem. You need a bona fide top 4 defenseman, a really good, solid top 4 defenseman. Not some cast off from another team, not a guy that you can just plug into the 5-6 spot. You need a top 4 guy. So I just don't see that right now. I'm kind of surprised that all that talk's still out there. Of course, Matt Duchene talk is still going on. And of course, the Rangers are still looking for a center. It looks like JT Miller may be experimented at center. And Hayes and Zibanejad right now look like they'll be the top 2 centers in New York. And again, I think that's a reason for concern if you're a Rangers fan. And I don't say that as an insult to the Rangers. I just don't see those guys as top 2 centers. And, the guys sent down by the Rangers are just 4 minor guys who weren't going to make the team anyways. So let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And one other roster note. Apparently Gallagher's being experimented with on the first line for Montreal. Probably the right move. It's interesting to see Drouin's at the top spot, and in the lineups for tonight's preseason game, Galchenyuk's back on the wing. So if they were going to move Galchenyuk to center, he's on the 3rd line wing right now. And another interesting roster move with the Leafs is that Marleau stays on that 3rd line. So if Patrick Marleau is a 3rd line forward, are Toronto fans going to be upset when his production isn't worthy of the money he's getting? That's the big question right now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. And thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.